Hello everyone. Today we are starting next topic of this lesson, that is embryogenesis in plants and animals. So let us start. What is the meaning of embryogenesis? Students, development of embryo from diploid zygote is known as embryogenesis, in which mitotic cell division and meiotic cell division take place. Basically, in most of animals and plants, mitotic cell division takes place during the process of embryogenesis, and cell division, cell differentiation, two processes take place during the process of embryogenesis. So first, cell division. Increase in number of cell is known as cell division, and it is very important for development of multicellular embryo. And cell differentiation, that means a group of cells undergo certain modifications for formation of different kinds of tissues, different kinds of organs. So cell division and cell differentiation, these two events or these two activities are involved during the process of embryogenesis. In plants and animals, two different ways, there are two different ways related to embryogenesis. In animals, zygote is diploid. For example, in human being, during embryogenesis, it is diploid zygote. It has diploid number of chromosome. How many number of chromosome? 46. 46 number of chromosome. So first it converts into two cells, and then four cells are formed, then eight cells are formed, and then blastocyst is developed. So first two cells are developed by the division, mitotic cell division, mitosis cell division. Two cell zygote is formed. It is a single cellular zygote, and two celled structure or zygote is formed from single cell, and then four cells are formed. It is four cell stage. Now 8 to 16 cells are formed, and each cell have individual nucleus. It is known as 8 to 16 cell stage is known as morula stage. So these are some important events related to embryogenesis in human beings. And finally, a multicellular blastocyst or blastula stage is developed, in which outer layer is known as trophoblast and inner cell mass is present. So embryogenesis is very important process, because by embryogenesis multicellular embryo is developed, and this blastocyst, it is blastula stage, or in human being blastula stage is known as blastocyst, and this blastocyst have inner cell mass which converts into embryo after process of mitotic cell division, or gastrulation stage is also found between this stage. And these are not very important topics related to this lesson, but embryogenesis is very important. So I am explaining what is the process of embryogenesis in human beings. From single cell zygote, multicellular embryo is developed by the process of mitotic cell division, and these small cells are formed inside the zygote, and multiple cells are formed, and these each cell have diploid number of chromosome. Diploid number of chromosome. This is inner cell mass. Inner cell mass which converts into embryo because it has specific type of cells. Each stem cell, it is known as stem cell. Inner cell mass have specific type of cells which are known as stem cells, and these stem cells have ability to produce whole tissues, whole organs, or whole organ system of a human embryo. So these are very important cells related to embryogenesis, and this is uh, trophoblast layer. Trophoblast layer, help in placenta formation. So this is the basic example related to embryogenesis in human beings. We can say that in human, unicellular zygote first forms two cells, and then 4 cells are developed, then 8 cells, 16 cells, multiple cells are formed, and first morula stage is formed, then blastula stage is formed, then gastrula stage is formed, and inner cell mass form complete embryo, in which all organ systems are developed like excretory system, respiratory system, circulatory system, digestive system. So embryogenesis in human beings, first stages or initial stages of embryogenesis are normally similar in different organisms, different animals. In we can say that in animals like in reptiles, in birds, initial stages are normally similar, but final stage is different because some different embryos are developed in every type of species. So this is the basic development. And cell differentiation means it is cell division, and cell differentiation means cells are modified or differentiate for their different work. For example, muscular tissue system. Muscular tissue system in which muscles are involved, which help in movement of different body parts. Like in a digestive system. Digestive system have alimentary canal, different digestive glands. So these are formed after differentiation of cells, and cell differentiate होकर के tissues बनाती है, उनसे organs बनते हैं, and then organ system बनता है. So embryogenesis किसी का भी हो, उसमें दो process होंगी, cell division and cell differentiation. Cell division दो type से होता है, mitotic and meiotic. Normally zygote is diploid, so mitotic cell division takes place during embryogenesis. And cell differentiation means modification or differentiation of cells according to their function to form specific type of tissues or specific type of organs or specific types of organ system. किसी ऑर्गेनिज्म में सेलुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होता है, किसी में टिश्यू लेवल होता है, किसी में ऑर्गन लेवल होता है, किसी में ऑर्गन सिस्टम लेवल होता है. ऑर्गन सिस्टम लेवल जैसे हायर एनिमल्स में, मैमल्स में, birds में, reptiles में, chordates में. So they have higher type of body organization. इसी के अकॉर्डिंग उनका एम्ब्रियोजेनेसिस में भी ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट के टाइम स्टेजेस चेंज होती हैं. क्लियर स्टूडेंट्स? Next, in flowering plants, the events related to embryogenesis, and after we can say that fertilization, which type of processes take place in plants. In plants, flowering plants, bisexual flowers or unisexual flowers are present, and male and female both type of reproductive organs are developed for formation of male and female gametes. So in flowering plants, zygote formed inside ovule by fertilized egg cell. Like I explained this point. Suppose that in this flower, these are anther and stamen, and they produces pollen grain, and these pollen grains are pollinated on surface of anther, stigma. So after pollination, after pollination fertilization process takes place. Two male gametes are released, and these male gametes enters into pollen tube. Clear? And the pollen tube reaches to ovule, and it fertilized embryo sac. So these are some points related to embryogenesis in flowering plants, like zygote developed inside the ovule. So this is ovule. This is the diagram of ovule. Ovule has two integuments. Maybe single ovule is present, or maybe multiple ovules are present inside the ovary. And this is embryo sac. तो जो पोलन ट्यूब आ रही है इधर से, ये क्या आ रही है ओव्यूल तक. ओवरी में क्या है, दिस इज ओवरी, एंड ये ओवरी के अंदर ओव्यूल है, और ओव्यूल में एम्ब्रियो सैक है. इट इज एम्ब्रियो सैक. अब मैं एक डायग्राम एम्ब्रियो सैक का और बनाती हूँ. एम्ब्रियो सैक जो है उसके अंदर बेटा क्या होता है, एंटीपोडल सेल्स होती है, सिनर्जिड सेल्स होती हैं, एक एग सेल होती है, दो पोलर न्यूक्लियस होते हैं. सो सिनर्जिड सेल्स आफ्टर फर्टिलाइजेशन डीजनरेट हो जाती हैं. फर्टिलाइजेशन जो पोलन ट्यूब यहाँ पहुँचेगी वो सिनर्जिड सेल से होते हुए एग सेल तक पहुँचेगी. यहाँ पोलन ट्यूब ब्रस्ट होती है, एंड देन वन न्यूक्लियस फ्यूजेस विथ एग सेल, एंड वन न्यूक्लियस फ्यूजेस विथ पोलर न्यूक्लियस. सो फर्टिलाइजेशन के लिए हम ये सारी बातें डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि फ्लावर के अंदर मेल एंड फीमेल गैमेट्स बन रहे हैं, एक ही फ्लावर में या अलग अलग फ्लावर्स में. अगर हम कहें कि वो पोलिनेशन हो गया, ये तो हमने डिस्कस किया था, ट्रांसफर ऑफ पोलन ग्रेन्स इन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स बाय पोलिनेशन. दैट मीन्स ट्रांसफर ऑफ पोलन ग्रेन्स फ्रॉम एंथर टू स्टिग्मा is known as pollination. It is of two types, self pollination and cross pollination. Self pollination and cross pollination. Like it is self pollination. सेल्फ पोलिनेशन के बाद में पोलन ग्रेन्स जो हैं वो जर्मिनेट होते हैं ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ स्टिग्मा, एंड स्टिग्मा से ये जो ट्यूब निकलती है इसको क्या बोलते हैं, पोलन ट्यूब. इट इज नोन एज पोलन ट्यूब. पोलन ट्यूब ओव्यूल तक पहुंचती है, इट इज ओव्यूल, एंड ओव्यूल हैव वन एम्ब्रियो sac, and this is diagram of embryo sac in which one egg cell is present. It is egg cell. These are antipodal cells. Antipodal cells. So zygote is formed inside the ovule. मैंने ये क्यों बनाया है कि zygote कहाँ बन रहा है, इस ovule के अंदर बन रहा है. जाइगोट कहाँ बन रहा है, जाइगोट ओव्यूल के अंदर बन रहा है. ये जाइगोट इस ओव्यूल के अंदर एम्ब्रियो सैक में बन रहा है. एग सेल कन्वर्ट्स इनटू जाइगोट आफ्टर फर्टिलाइजेशन. फर्टिलाइजेशन के बाद एग सेल किस में कन्वर्ट हो जाती है, जाइगोट में. याद रखना इसके अंदर. और एग का फर्टिलाइजेशन किससे हुआ, दो मेल गैमेट से जो पोलन ट्यूब से पोलन ग्रेन से होते हुए आए हैं एग एम्ब्रियो सैक तक. तो या ये जो ट्यूब है, सपोज दैट इधर से पोलन ट्यूब आ रही है और ये एम्ब्रियो सैक से तक पहुंचेगी ओव्यूल से होते हुए. and then embryo sac has 3 antipodal cells. These topics are related to second chapter also. second chapter में हम इसको डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे बहुत अच्छे डायग्रामेटिक प्रेजेंटेशन के साथ में. यहाँ इसके कुछ टर्म्स दी हुई हैं इसलिए मैं ये डिस्कस कर रही हूँ. तो यहाँ ये डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन होता है. 2 मेल गैमेट्स होते हैं इस पोलर ट्यूब में 2 मेल गैमेट्स होते हैं जो पोलन ग्रेन से रिलीज होते हैं. 1 मेल गैमेट फ्यूजेस विथ 1 egg cell and forms zygote. This is known as first fertilization or syngamy. And second male gamete fuses with polar nucleus or secondary nucleus to form primary endosperm nucleus. Primary endosperm nucleus means endosperm is also developed after fertilization. 4 structures are developed in flowering plants after fertilization. Remember these points. First, development of zygote from embryo. Second, development of seed from ovule. Third, development of embryo from zygote, development of seed from ovule, and development of endosperm from primary endosperm cell, and development of fruit from ovary. So these are 4 events related to पोस्ट फर्टिलाइजेशन. सो पोस्ट फर्टिलाइजेशन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स के अंदर क्या होता है, जो सेपल्स होते हैं फ्लावर के, यहाँ पे जैसे ये सेपल्स हैं, कैलिक्स के पार्ट मैंने बताए थे, ये नीचे गिर जाते हैं. पेटल्स फॉल डाउन एंड स्टेमन, ये भी पॉलिनेशन के बाद में नीचे गिर जाते हैं. देन जाइगोट जो है उससे एम्ब्रियो बनता है और प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म का फॉर्मेशन होता है. प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म सेल बनती है जो कि ट्रिप्लोइड होती है. कैसी होती है? ट्रिप्लोइड. सो ट्रिप्लोइड प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म सेल कैसे बनी? यहाँ पे ये देखो, ये जो न्यूक्लियस फ्यूज होगा, ये 1 न्यूक्लियस एंड दिस इज अनदर न्यूक्लियस, दिस इज अनदर न्यूक्लियस, एन एन एंड एन, दीज आर 3N. So it is known as primary endosperm nucleus and this cell is known as primary endosperm cell. Endosperm provides nutrition to this developing embryo. ये एम्ब्रियो जब डेवलप होगा तो उसको न्यूट्रिशन चाहिएगा. ये न्यूट्रिशन कौन देगा भाई इसको? एंडोस्पर्म. एंड एंडोस्पर्म इज डेवलप्ड फ्रॉम प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म सेल. क्लियर स्टूडेंट्स? सो दीज आर सम बेसिक पॉइंट्स रिलेटेड टू फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स आफ्टर फर्टिलाइजेशन और पोस्ट फर्टिलाइजेशन इवेंट. सिनर्जिड सेल्स इंटीग्रेट हो जाती है यानी कि डीजनरेटेड हो जाती हैं. That means synergid cells, these are synergid cells, helping cells. They help in provide direction to pollen tube. They provide direction to pollen tube only because they have filiform apparatus. We will discuss in second chapter of your syllabus. And this is the egg cell. These are synergid cells. तो synergid cell degenerate हो जाएंगी, antipodal cell degenerate हो जाएंगी बाद में. और फर्टिलाइजेशन किसका होगा? इस एग सेल का एंड इन एग न्यूक्लियस, इस न्यूक्लियस का. एग सेल और न्यूक्लियस के फर्टिलाइजेशन के बाद में 1 मेल गैमेट फ्यूजेस विथ एग सेल एंड देन जाइगोट इज डेवलप्ड इनसाइड द ओव्यूल. तो ये ओव्यूल जो है वो कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा सीड में, एग सेल कन्वर्ट हो जाएगी जाइगोट में, एंड देन ओवेरी कन्वर्ट हो जाएगी किसमें? दिस ओवेरी कन्वर्ट्स इनटू फ्रूट. सो फ्रूट डेवलप हो जाता है. तो सीड कोट बनते हैं, ये बनते हैं इस इंटेग्यूमेंट से. दीज आर 2 इंटेग्यूमेंट्स ऑफ ओव्यूल. you know ovule converts into seed. So seed coat are formed by the outer integument of ovule. क्लियर? इंटेग्यूमेंट्स ही क्या बनाएंगे? सीड कोट बनाएंगे. एंड देन पार्थेनोजेनेसिस. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ पार्थेनोजेनेसिस? इफ फीमेल गैमेट्स डेवलप्ड इनटू न्यू ऑर्गेनिज्म विदाउट फर्टिलाइजेशन. विदाउट फर्टिलाइजेशन सीडलेस फ्रूट्स डेवलप हो जाते हैं. कई बार फीमेल गैमेट के फ्यूजन के बिना ही नया प्लांट बॉडी बन जाता है. ओवरी से फ्रूट बन गया, ओवरी से सीड बन गया, या जाइगोट एम्ब्रियो में चेंज हो जाता है विदाउट फर्टिलाइजेशन. सो इट इज द टाइप ऑफ fertilization. If fertilization not takes place in some plants and embryo is formed from unfertilized zygote, then it is called as parthenogenesis or unfertilized egg cell. Female gamete egg cell converts into embryo without fertilization, then it is called as parthenogenesis. In plants, it is also known as parthenocarpy, like fruit development without fertilization. For example, banana, for example, orange, grapes, commercially important plants, they are produced or they are induced for formation of parthenocarpic fruits. These fruits, which are developed without fertilization, are known as parthenocarpic fruits, and these are seedless plants or seedless fruits, and they are more important than other seeded fruits at commercial level. So they are induced for parthenocarpy, and parthenogenesis is normal character in some animals and plants only. But most of plants and animals do not show this type of character, parthenogenesis. Like in honeybee, drone is developed from parthenogenesis process because they develop from unfertilized egg without fertilization. Clear? And for other rotifers, we can say that they are also example of parthenogenesis. In some plant, turkey birds, so parthenogenesis is another process. But in flowering plants, most of flowering plants uh, form embryo by the zygote after fertilization, and zygote converts into embryo, ovule converts into seed, and ovary converts into fruit. This is the basic type of post fertilization. Seed coat name are testa and tegmen. Each seed coat is developed, we can say that integuments. There are two integuments, outer and inner integuments. Outer integument form testa and inner integument form tegmen. So outer testa and tegmen, two types of integuments are developed from this structure. So this is bisexual flower, and self pollination takes place. After pollination, pollen tube is developed inside the ovary, and this pollen tube enters into ovule through this micropylar pore. This pore is known as micropylar pore, and inside the ovule, embryo sac is present in which egg cell is present, and egg cell get fertilized by male gametes. There are two male gametes. One male gamete fuses with a egg cell to form zygote, and another male gamete fuses with another uh, secondary nucleus. By primary endosperm nucleus, triploid nucleus is developed, and the whole cell, this cell converts into endosperm, which provides nutrition to developing embryo after fertilization. Clear? So these are post fertilization event in flowering plants. So tegmen and testa, two layers of seed coat are developed. Next, related to this point, like ovule develops into seed, and embryo sac in which egg is present, egg cell converts into zygote after fertilization, and ovary converts into fruit. So ovary have this wall, ovary wall. So ovary wall form pericarp. It form pericarp. And we can say that, suppose that this is fruit. So fruit wall is divided into three layers: mesocarp, endocarp, and epicarp. And in some fruits, these pericarp layer are fleshy, and in some fruits these are dried. So we can say that different types of layers are present, different types of fruits are present in our plant body. So this is three layers. These are three layers: epicarp, mesocarp. These are three layers, and endocarp. and these are fruit wall. Actually, fruit wall, and they are developed from ovary wall. So ovary wall forms pericarp. Carp means fruit. तो पेरिकार्प कौन बनाता है? ओवरी की वॉल बनाती है, और उसमें 3 लेयर्स होती हैं, एंडो, मीजो एंड एपिकार्प, एंड दीज 3 layers are present in each fruit. Clear? Suppose that this is fruit and of mango, and this is seed, and inside the seed embryo is present. So zygote forms embryo after fertilization, and then ovule forms seed, and ovary forms fruit. So fruits are developed after fertilization, seeds and embryo. These are basic structures, and one special tissue, endosperm, is also developed after fertilization, which provides nutrition to developing embryo. So these are some basic topic related to development of flowering plants. Next, seedlet fruits are formed by parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis means the process of formation of seeds, a process of formation of embryo without fertilization or unfertilized egg is known as parthenogenesis, and seedless fruits are developed by the process of parthenogenesis. These fruits are called as parthenocarpic fruits, and this process is also known as parthenocarpy in fruits related to, like in orange, parthenocarpic fruits, orange, banana, grapes. Normally these are seeded plants, they have seeded fruits, but in parthenocarpic process we can say that seedless fruits are developed, so they may be seedless after process of parthenocarpic, and their value, commercial value, is increased after the process of parthenogenesis. Next, some important points related to this chapter are, we are discussing clone. Clone is a group of individual of same species which are morphologically and genetically similar to each other. If we can say that in asexual reproduction, next offspring which is produced after the process of asexual reproduction is genetically and morphologically similar to its parent, so it is known as clone. And if individuals which are formed after the process of asexual reproduction are also similar in their genetic and morphological structure, so they show similarities in their structure and they are known as a clone. Clear, students? And what is turion or bulbil? The fleshy overwintering bud in aquatic plants is known as turion. Like as Potamogeton is an aquatic plant, Utricularia is an aquatic plant in which a fleshy bud is developed for asexual reproduction. This is known as a turion. Clear? And bulbil, a fleshy floral bud or buds which are developed in some plants like agave and oxalis, and they are produce new individual body by vegetative reproduction through these buds. These are fleshy buds, these are developed on the plant body, and normally these are floral buds and they detached from the plant body. Initially these are attached, they remain attached on the parental body, and after some time they get separated from plant body and convert into new individual. So these buds, fleshy buds, are known as bulbils, and examples are agave and oxalis. Clear, students? So clone, that means parthenogenesis. There are some definitions related to this chapter which are very important. Partheno, first, parthenogenesis. the process of development of embryo without fertilization. Without fertilization is known as parthenogenesis, or the development of embryo from unfertilized egg is known as parthenogenesis. For example, banana and orange, these are seedless fruits, and it is also known as parthenocarpy if fruits are developed. Parthenocarpy. If fruits are formed after the process of formation of embryo without fertilization and formation of fruit without fertilization, these fruits have not seed, because seed cannot seed cannot formed from ovule during this process. So these are seedless fruits. For example, commercially important plants, some plants like as grapes, banana and oranges, these are seedless. And another definition related to this chapter is clone, a group of individuals of same species that are morphologically and genetically similar to each other, known as a clone. And during asexual reproduction, clone are developed. During asexual reproduction, clone are developed from their parent, because they are genetically and morphologically similar to their parent, and single parent takes part in the process of asexual reproduction. Turian, a fleshy overwintering birds in aquatic plants, is known as turians, which help in propagation, like as Potamogeton, like as in Utricularia. And bulbil is a fleshy bird that produce new individual plant, for example in agave and oxalis. So these are some best points related to this chapter. Next points. Like another important question related to this chapter is, what is the basic difference between oviparous and viviparous, and why the survival chances of viviparous young ones, or we can say that young ones, is more or greater in viviparous animals than oviparous animal. Listen, survival chances of young ones is greater in viviparous animals. Why? देन ओविपेरस एनिमल. तो यहाँ हम एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर क्लियर करेंगे. ओविपेरस एनिमल्स ले फर्टाइल और अनफर्टाइल एग्स. Those animals which lay eggs are known as oviparous, because ova means eggs. Clear? And viviparous, those organisms which give birth to young ones or young individuals, known as viviparous animals. Clear, students? Viviparous and oviparous, two types of animals are present, and the basic difference in their definition is, animals lay eggs, or animals lay fertile or non-fertile eggs, known as viviparous animals. Oviparous animals. Example, like as fertile egg. Fertile eggs and non-fertile eggs. So which animals lay fertile eggs? बताओ फटाफट. Fertile eggs laying कौन करता है, कौन से animals करते हैं? Birds and reptiles. Birds, that means aves members, and reptiles like lizard, snake, reptiles, they lay fertile eggs. And non-fertile eggs, like in frogs, amphibians members, salamander, and insects, they lay non-fertile eggs, because these eggs are fertilized outside the female body in aquatic medium in water. Like in amphibians, in frog and salamander, fertilization takes place outside the female body in external medium, in water medium, because tadpole larvae are developed in aquatic habitat, and this is completely aquatic. Tadpole larva is completely aquatic. It has multiple adaptations related to aquatic habitat, and it has tail, we can say that tail, gills, these are present in only tadpole larva. But its adult frog is normally amphibians. Amphi means both type of land and water habitat it can be फाउंड. सो एक्वेटिक हैबिटेट में ही उनकी एग लेइंग होगी, वहीं पर उसका फर्टिलाइजेशन होगा, और वो ओवीपेरस तो होते हैं बट वो अनफर्टिलाइज्ड एग्स देते हैं, तो वहीं उनका एक्सटर्नल फर्टिलाइजेशन होता है. दैट मीन्स जाइगोट का फॉर्मेशन भी एक्सटर्नली होता है. बहुत सारे डिफरेंसेस हम यहाँ पे और बना सकते हैं. दैट मीन्स जाइगोट इन ओवीपेरस एनिमल्स में बी जाइगोट कैन बी डेवलप्ड आउटसाइड द फीमेल बॉडी and may be developed inside the female body in external internal fertilization. Clear? So these are two main points related to oviparous animals. And viviparous animals give birth to young individuals, because these animals show internal fertilization, like as in mammals internal fertilization takes place. So they female members of human beings gives give birth to young ones. तो जो बेबीज का बर्थ होता है उस प्रोसेस को बोलते हैं पार्चुरेशन. अब विवीपेरस है, इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं उनमें कुछ एडेप्टेशंस हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल लाइक एज प्रेजेंट ऑफ प्लेसेंटा. between placenta is a structure present between the fetus or embryo and mother. Maternal tissues and fetal tissues are attached with each other by placenta. So placenta एक कनेक्शन है उनके बीच में, जिसके थ्रू न्यूट्रिशन जाएगा, जिसके थ्रू एक्सटर्नल जो एक्सक्रीटरी वेस्ट है वो रिमूव होगा, जिसके थ्रू गैसेस का एक्सचेंज होगा. बट प्लेसेंटा ओवीपेरस एनिमल्स में नहीं है, उनमें योग प्रेजेंट है जो न्यूट्रिशन देता है. तो सबके लिए अपने अपने एडेप्टेशंस है. विवीपेरस एनिमल्स शो सम एडेप्टेशंस, एडवांस एडेप्टेशंस रिलेटेड टू दिस नेचर. सो दे गिव बर्थ टू young ones or young individuals. Clear students? And eggs have calcareous shell to protect from the harsh environment. Eggs calcareous shell वाले होते हैं, लेकिन कुछ में नहीं होते हैं एग. जैसे विवीपेरस एनिमल्स के जो एग होते हैं उनके अंदर जो शेल होता है वो नहीं होता. दे आर प्रोटेक्टेड इनसाइड द मदर्स बॉडी. सो calcareous egg are also known as क्लिडोइक egg. Cleidoic eggs are present in mostly reptiles and birds, and insects also. Cleidoic eggs examples are birds, reptiles. They have a thick shell outside their egg, and we can say that calcareous egg means egg which is formed by calcium carbonate. That means calcareous shell. So it provides protection in harsh or extreme conditions or unfavorable conditions to eggs. And no shell is present in some mostly viviparous animals egg. For example, in female human or other mammals. Mostly mammals are of two types, like primates and non-primates, and we can say that protochordates and non-chordates होते हैं. जैसे वैसे ही mammals में भी जो primitive mammals हैं उनमें कुछ oviparous भी थे. जैसे for example अभी भी हैं platypus. Platypus is a insect eater oviparous mammal, and which lay eggs, but it has mammary glands, so it is involved in mammalia class with human beings, with other mammals. तो ये ओवीपेरस मैमल्स भी होते हैं, बट मोस्ट ऑफ मैमल्स आर विवीपेरस. दे प्रोड्यूसेस और बर्थ यंग वंस. सो दे गिव बर्थ टू यंग वंस. ह्यूमन बीइंग इन विच shell is absent outside the egg, or it is not protected by egg. So these are some basic points related to this chapter. Some other points related to this chapter which are important for your exam are, for example, like as gemmule formation. Gemmule formation, sponges or members of porifera. Example of gemmule formation, sponges or porifera members. You know students, some methods we discussed about different methods related to asexual reproduction, like as budding, like as fragmentation, fission, in which budding point is included, and bud is formed outside the parental body, which detached and form next new individual body. So we can say that during budding process, internal budding is also developed, internal bud is also developed in some plants, some animals like as sponges, and they produce some small structures like as bud inside their body, which is called as gemmule and sponge gemmule. So it is important term gemmule. Gemmule formation एग्जाम्पल पूछा जाता है. देखो इस gemmule में क्या होता है बेटा, इस gemmule में इस तरह की स्ट्रक्चर होती है. And then small totipotent cells are formed. And this is small pore micropyle. And these small cells get free or released from this body in favorable conditions, and each cell converts into new individual sponge. Clear? And some calcareous spines are also present on the body of a sponge gemmule. So these spines protect this gemmule, and in favorable conditions these cells are released. These cells are released from this micropylar pore outside the gemmule, and each cell converts into new individual body. So it is also very important question related to this lesson. Next point related to question is why water hyacinth is also known as water hyacinth plant is also known as terror of Bengal. Terror of Bengal. It is an important question. Water hyacinth is also known as terror of Bengal. Why? It is a very important question. Like this plant is introduced in Bengal. It is a foreign species, and it was introduced in Bengal from foreign, and then due to its beautiful flowers and shape of leaves, but it is a harmful dangerous aquatic weed. क्या है ये प्लांट? एक हार्मफुल डेंजरस एक्वेटिक वीड है. एक्वेटिक वीड जिसमें एक स्पेशल, आपको ध्यान होगा मैंने स्टेम बताया था, ऑफसेट स्टेम होता है. ऑफसेट स्टेम इज प्रेजेंट. ऑफसेट स्टेम हैज नोड्स एंड इंटरनोड्स, and it has ability to reproduce by vegetative reproduction process. तो एक्वेटिक जो वीड है ये वाटर हाइसिंथ, इसका जो प्लांट होता है वो इस तरह का होता है. इसका ऑफसेट स्टेम which has node and internode, and some specific structures are developed on this node. These are known as pulvillus, and roots are developed on these nodes. So this is the diagram of water hyacinth. Due to its beautiful, colorful flowers and due to its shape of leaves, these structures are known as pulvillus. It is included in your practical also. So pulvillus प्लांट की जो स्ट्रक्चर है इसकी वाटर हाइसिंथ की, इसके कारण इसको बंगाल में इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था. इट इज़ अ फॉरेन स्पीसीज, बट बंगाल में ये इतनी फास्टली स्प्रेड हो गया सभी वाटर बॉडीज़ में, एक्वेटिक सरफेस पे, कि इसके अंदर जो ऑफसेट स्टेम है उसके जो पीसेज हुए, जितने भी पीसेज हैं उनसे सबसे बहुत सारे वाटर हाइसिंथ प्लांट बन गए, बिकॉज इट हैज़ वेजिटेटिव रिप्रोडक्शन थ्रू ऑफसेट स्टेम. क्लियर. और इसके कारण ये इतना स्प्रेड हो गया वहाँ पे कि अब इसको कंट्रोल करना भी मुश्किल हो गया है. इसका नेगेटिव डिसएडवांटेज इसका क्या था कि इस प्लांट के कारण वहाँ की ऑक्सीजन जो है वो डिक्रीज हो गई. इट डिक्रीजेज ऑक्सीजन इन वाटर बॉडीज और एक्वेटिक हैबिटेट एंड वेरी फास्टली इट ग्रो. सो वी कैन से दैट यहाँ पे जो फिशेज थी, एनिमल्स थे, उनकी धीरे धीरे डेथ होने लगी. और अभी भी ये वहाँ पे इतनी बड़े लेवल पे है कि इसको अभी कंट्रोल करना भी मुश्किल हो गया है. सो इट इज़ ऑल्सो नोन एज टेरर ऑफ बंगाल. वहाँ का आतंक जो मचा रखा है इसने, तो टेरर ऑफ बंगाल के नाम से ये फेमस है. और ये काफ़ी बार पूछा जाता है क्वेश्चन कि वाई वाटर हाइसिंथ इज ऑल्सो नोन एज ए टेरर ऑफ बंगाल, बिकॉज it is a dangerous aquatic weed and it is a foreign species which was introduced in Bengal due to its beautiful flowers and shape of leaves, and now it is not controlled and it is also known as terror of Bengal. So इसकी जो स्ट्रक्चर है ये आपके दो जगह आई हुई है, एक तो ऑफसेट स्टेम के अंदर, ऑफसेट स्टेम की स्ट्रक्चर में, और एक क्वेश्चन ये जो वाटर हाइसिंथ का है, टेरर ऑफ बंगाल क्यों बोलते हैं इसको, वो भी पूछा जा सकता है. तो यहाँ दो टॉपिक यहाँ से रिलेटेड आ सकते हैं. व्हाट इज़ द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ओविपेरस एंड विविपेरस एनिमल, एंड व्हाट इज़ द डिफरेंस बिटवीन क्लिडोइक एग एंड नॉन क्लिडोइक एग, व्हाई वाटर हाइसिंथ इज नोन एज terror of Bengal, and another question is related to this chapter, like what is the difference between mesocarpic and polycarpic or monocarpic and polycarpic plants. Monocarpic and polycarpic. Students, monocarpic means single time fruit production. Carpic word is used for fruit production. So monocarpic means if plants produces flowers, fruits are developed from ovary of flower. So if plants produce only if plants produce only single time flowers in their whole life cycle, then these are known as monocarpic plants and this condition is known as monocarpy. So monocarpic plants जैसे कि अपन एक important example आपके बुक में दिए हुए हैं, एक तो है बैम्बू. बैम्बू अपनी 50 to 100 ईयर्स की लाइफ साइकिल में ओनली वन टाइम फ्लावरिंग करता है एंड देन उसकी डेथ हो जाती है. यानी कि उसमें जो लार्ज स्केल पे फ्लावर्स डेवलप होते हैं वो 50 to 100 ईयर्स में होते हैं. पूरी होल लाइफ साइकिल अपनी कंप्लीट करने के टाइम वो एक बार ही फ्लावरिंग कर पाता है एंड बैम्बू में जो है ये एग्जाम्पल काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट है. बैम्बू. अनदर एग्जाम्पल इज Strobilanthes plant. Strobilanthes is also known as नीला कुरेंजी. कर्नाटका, साउथ इंडिया के अंदर वहाँ पे सितंबर अक्टूबर में बड़े लेवल पे ये 12 साल के अंदर इसने क्या करता है, ये प्लांट फिर से अपना एक ही बार फ्लावरिंग करता है पूरी लाइफ साइकिल में 12 ईयर्स के बाद में. और उस समय वहाँ पे बड़े लेवल पे वहाँ की स्ट्रीट्स, वहाँ की रोड्स जो हैं इसके पर्पल फ्लावर्स से, इसके ब्यूटीफुल फ्लावर्स से कवर हो जाती है, जो कि वहाँ के टूरिस्ट को काफ़ी अट्रैक्ट करती है. So these are some best example related to monocarpic plants. They produce only one time flowers in their whole life cycle, like as in bamboo after 50 to 100 years, and in strobilanthus or Nila Kurenji plant, after 12 years, only one time they produce only one time flowers. Okay, and polycarpic or normally perennial plants, they produce flowers more than one time in their whole life cycle, like mango, orange, apple, mango, orange, and apple plants. These plants produce more than one time flowers in their whole life cycle. So these are some basic important topics related to this chapter, and this chapter has been finished, and in next video we will discuss about next chapter. So thank you, have a nice day.